Well, hi everyone. I just want to give a quick little video on Sam Lawrence Park. So this is one of my parks that I like to go to that not a lot of people know about the actual rock garden section of it. So I'll show you that in the video. But as you can see from the yellow arrows, there's two parking lots. You can also park on the street and access through High Cliff Avenue, which I just showed you there with the little arrow on the left. That goes directly to the main parking lot. So it kind of is at the intersection of Upper Wellington, Concession Street, and then the start of the Jolly Cut, which goes down to John Street. And there you can see the Claremont access. So hopefully it gives you a bit of wayfinding on where the park is and where to park. And as you can see, I've outlined kind of the area of the park in a light blue line. You just got to be careful on crossing any busy streets. Make sure you cross at the proper areas because it is quite a busy thoroughfare. So that being said, let's get into the park and the features. So the best place to park is the main lot, which is just off of Concession Street, just west of Upper Wellington. So you can see it's a fairly large lot. Sometimes it does get busy. In that case, use the other lot or park on the street. But there is a sign coming up here that I'll show you that says 2-hour limit. So generally you're not going to spend that many hours at this park. It's pretty small and you get your walk done fairly quickly. But there is kind of picnic areas in this area as well. So there's kind of three sections to the park. This is kind of the west end, where the main parking lot is, and you have some views there, and it's up on a bit of a plateau. And then the rock garden is on the east end, and the third area is kind of on the east side of Upper Wellington and Concession, and you do have to cross at the lights there just to be safe. Now, as you can see, I have my dog with me. This is not a designated leash-free dog park, so just be aware of that. You do have to have your dog on a leash at all times. And if you walk along the brow, you'll come upon the kind of the main lookout area where you'll find most people standing to get a good vantage point of Hamilton. And I just want to mention the good job that the city staff does with the landscaping. There's a lot of annuals and perennials and interesting arrangements, so hats off to them for that. So yeah, this is kind of the main lookout, and you do get quite a good view. Here is a plaque, so you'll see the number 1 on the top right. There's I think 10 of them. I'm not sure exactly where they all are, but you'll see them along the route, describing the geological features of the area, the history, interesting facts about this park and the area. So there you can see a nice kind of panoramic view of not only downtown Hamilton, but Dundas Valley a little bit, and you can see across to Aldershot and Burlington, and Stony Creek off to your right there. So nice view, and especially at night, it's quite nice just to go and look at night at all the city lights, and especially when there's fireworks happening or a special event. So I encourage you to check it out sometime. But yeah, great views of the city. But I actually made this video to show you kind of the east end of the park, which is kind of my favorite area, which I'll show you in a minute. There you can see the GO train, and this is the open area just east of the main parking lot. So as you go along here along the brow, you can either go down here or just turn to your right. You kind of follow the progression of the pathway here beside the Jolly Cut. So you'll see another plaque. This is, I guess, number 4. And then as you walk up towards the Jolly Cut, you'll see that there's a little pathway to your right. Now this probably used to be a safe crossing area, but I would advise against it. There you can see kind of a little old pathway. I know people still do cross there, and there you can see the pathway, but you are kind of taking your life in your hands because that's kind of an off-ramp at the top of the Jolly Cut. So best to cross at the lights, use your best judgment. And you go a little bit further down, and you start to see all the flower arrangements at the kind of the start of the, I call it the rock garden. It's similar to the RBG rock garden, but just not as fancy, obviously. But again, they do a nice job of planting and landscaping here. So the thing I like about it is that there's all these little pathways. So I kind of let Nellie just take me along and let her lead the way for a bit. but I'll show you a little aerial view of the rock garden itself. It's not very big, but there are quite a little areas that you can explore. So here we are kind of right next to the Jolly Cut, which is on our right, and we're just going up. There's quite a few different levels. You can go up and down. Again, lots of perennials and annuals, so it changes throughout the year. It's nice to see. This is just at the end of summer into early fall. So with every turn you have different views and different levels. It does kind of remind me of the rock garden at RBG, because you're kind of going up and down and just following these little pathways. So the city's done a nice job of mixing different types of perennials and annuals. And here you see there's lots of seating as well, so you'll see lots of benches and flower arrangements with different views of the city. So if you need to take a rest, you can. Again, here's another plaque. This one I found kind of outdated. There's some things on the points of interest that have changed names, or so I'm not sure if this is from the 90s. I think they did a major renovation of the park back in the early to mid 90s, so I think some of the plaques are still existing from that period. They do, I think, need to maybe update those plaques. That being said, I have read that they've been working on updating the park, paving a new parking lot, and they did a few sign upgrades and things like that. So they are planning quite a big project coming up as well, which I'll talk to you in a second about. This used to be an old quarry as well, so you'll see, some shale, limestone, different sedimentary rock here and there. So interesting to see this part of the escarpment. And yeah, it used to be a quarry in days gone by. Now, from what I've understood, reading up on the proposed project, and I think they have funding for it, but I'm not too sure. Maybe someone can comment down below. But they are planning to build a pedestrian bridge that'll span the Jolly Cut and will link this part of the park to Concession Street. So hopefully that'll go through. Would be a lot easier access. So there you can see another lookout and another plaque. This is number 7. Seen better days, but there you can see a view of Victoria Avenue with, I guess, General Hospital in the distance there, and a view of the harbor. This is my favorite tree in the park, actually. It has a lot of character, and I like how the branches are quite curvy and gnarly. And it's a nice quiet area. It's a nice open area to just kind of relax. It's actually, the park spans a fairly big area. It's about just over 18 acres. So again, it's divided kind of into 3 different areas because it's cut kind of partially in half by the Jolly Cut. But it's quite an old park, and it's had some transformations over the years. Again, I think the last major renovation, they say, was, I think, 92 to 94, I believe. But they are undergoing some projects right now to update it. So let's hope they keep doing that. It's a great park. It just needs better access, I think, and some of the signage needs and plaques needs to be updated. So I was mentioning earlier, there's access to the lower part of the city from the park. So if you look on the left-hand side of the screen, there's a pathway, and it actually does link up to a sidewalk that goes along the Jolly Cut. So if you see there on the left-hand corner, and then it goes along the trees on the east end of the Jolly Cut and links up to that sidewalk. So there's a set of stairs. Now, I don't know much about where it links up to the Bruce Trail, probably in that same area, but if someone has more information, they can certainly add that to the video comment section. So this pathway is kind of links the two ends of the park. You saw earlier when there was stairs that were heading down and we didn't go that way. Well, this is the way back to those stairs. So here you'll see a monarch butterfly. There he goes, which is pretty rare sighting. Their numbers are really down. So it's good to see a couple of monarchs here and there. But decent views from this section. It's a little overgrown, but yeah, and some of the fence line is in need of a little bit of repair, but overall it's an interesting section because on your left you can see part of the escarpment as well, with some of the exposed kind of like shale rock and sedimentary rock. So interesting little area. Again, this links the two ends of the park together. And here you can see a utility building with a fenced-in portable toilet. So I don't believe there is any washroom or bathroom facilities in the park. So just keep that in mind when planning your time here. So yeah, Nellie's just having a bit of a rest after our walk. Had some water. This is actually a nice area at the main parking lot at the west end of the park. Lots of shade trees, a good place for, you know, a lunch break or just you know, a good area just to have a picnic. So thanks for watching the short review of Sam Lawrence Park. Hope you check it out sometime. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more videos, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.